Know what you're getting into before signing a lease. We are speaking with the founder of a new tool for San Diego renters, a coastal landmark targeted by vandals. We're going to show you the work happening now to clean up this mushroom beach house. And a new parking controversy in San Diego, what customers need to know about changes at a popular shopping center. Hello, and thank you so much for joining us here. I'm Neda Irampour. Here at CBS 8, we are working for you. We're listening to your concerns. We're investigating your questions and finding solutions that matter in our community. We're going to begin with this tool for anybody who's renting a home. We have reported on complaints about these so-called deposit snatching being done by some local landlords. Well, now there's a new way that gives renters more information before you sign that lease. You can look into your landlord. CBS 8's Steffi Roche working for you as she speaks with the founder of what's called Who's Your Landlord?
While in college 10 years ago, Ofo Izugyu came up with an idea.
One of the key issues that students were having was with issues with housing. And even for myself, when I was looking to move off campus, it was me and a group of friends that, we reach out to folks, whether it was Craigslist or other platforms, and then we'd show up for the tour, and everything always was great all the time. Right. And then we'd go back the next day without the landlord and talk to the students that lived in the unit if they opened up the door, and they tell us the real story.
He decided to create a platform called Who's Your Landlord? It's designed to help college renters know what they're signing up for before they sign a lease. That includes data on how maintenance is handled, property and unit conditions, plus comments and complaints about specific landlords. He developed a resident trust index.
So when a renter or student renter goes to provide their review, it's not just comments in a star system. They're actually filling out a shorthand survey that hits on those key markers within the resident experience, so that can compute the score, that resident trust index, that then others know they can trust, and that's the key thing. We wanted something built that's ubiquitous, right? That students understood.
Zillow reports that the average rent in San Diego right now is just under $3,000 per month. With high costs and low vacancy rates, finding housing can be challenging for young adults. Izugyu says he hopes universities like UC San Diego State, USD, and more will partner with verification services before students hand over a security deposit.
Housing is a national issue right now, right? And we're feeling it on the local level in San Diego. We're talking about if someone takes your security deposit and doesn't give it back, well, for a student, that's thousands of dollars that could have gone to books, that could have gone to your next month's rent, that could have gone to your tuition. And so I think what we think about conscientiously here at Who's Your Landlord is there needs to be a national standard for how we view transparency, how we view housing and quality, how we view maintenance and communication across management.
That was Steffi Roche reporting. If you want to check out this website, you'll find a link to it on our website at cbs8.com. Just click on the link to this story. And now we have an update on San Diego's efforts to address the local housing shortage and fill a large budget deficit. City Council is moving to crack down on vacant homes. Council voted 8-1 to place a measure on this June ballot that would tax second homes left empty for more than half of the year. If approved, owners would pay $8,000. That starts in the year 2027, next year, rising to $10,000 by 2028. Corporate-owned vacant homes would pay more. Now, if voters approve this, the tax would take effect January 1st, with those first bills due come 2028. Okay, take a look right here. This is one of San Diego's most recognizable and mysterious coastal landmarks. Have you seen this in La Jolla? The so-called Mushroom House. It overlooks Black's Beach right there in La Jolla, and it's become something of an urban legend. Lately, as you'll notice, a canvas also for vandals. News 8's Brian White shows us the new efforts underway to clean this all up.
Some say it looks out of this world, a UFO or spaceship from Star Wars, but it got its nickname for a reason. What does it look like to you?
Like a big, mushroomy house shooting out of the cliff.
Tucked away along the rocky coastline near Black's Beach, the Mushroom House, a little strange, is a sight to see.
It's something you might see in like a desert landscape, but you're coming around the corner and suddenly it's it's a beautiful surprise.
The Bell Pavilion, as it was originally called, was built as a guest house for Sam Bell of General Mills in the 1960s. But a bluff failure in 2020 damaged the tram system that connects it to the main house on the cliff above. Since then, it's become a magnet for graffiti and vandalism. This picture was taken in January by Mike McCormack. He's a board trustee on the La Jolla Shores Association.
To see it become really an internationally known spot through social media and then vandalized is disappointing. It became a curious nuisance.
We made the trek out there at low tide to see the new cleanup efforts underway. Crews painting over graffiti, and they've boarded up windows and entrances. Current owner Buzz Woolley hired GDC Construction to upkeep the property and keep trespassers out. They allowed us to take a look inside. The walls littered with spray-painted graffiti, and the kitchen here in obvious disrepair. Here used to be the bathroom, but now it's completely gutted and full of graffiti. And here used to be the old shower. Cleanup crews have hauled out much of the trash and debris from inside using electric wheelbarrows to move 600-pound loads across the beach. It's all part of a new proactive approach to maintaining the property.
It's going to be a battle with the graffiti artists that the word doesn't get out to 100% of the people. It's only a fraction. Over time it might stop. And as long as it's not occupied, I don't see how it's going to be any different.
I spoke with the vice president of GDC in charge of the cleanup. He says they're doing everything they can to keep people from trespassing, and he says anyone who does could be arrested. In La Jolla, Brian White, News 8.
Yeah, glad they're doing something to keep that clean out there. We have an update now on the controversial paid parking situation at Balboa Park. People who live in the city of San Diego now have access to more free parking spots. Now, you do have to register online with a verified address in the city to prove that you live in city limits. But you will be able to park for free all day in 7 of Balboa Park's 12 lots. The remaining 5 premium lots will still charge fees, but verified city residents will receive discounted rates when you pay online. So it does take registering in advance first. If you did pay a visit to Westfield UTC Mall this week, maybe you found yourself paying a little extra to park there. The mall has cut its free parking from 2 hours down to 1 hour, and shoppers are now starting to change their plans because of this. Working for you, News 8's Steffi Roche brings us answers about this parking situation.
The changes to the parking at UTC come as a shock to a lot of people, including myself. I was here Monday morning and I spent about an hour and 15 minutes at the mall. And then when I went to the gate to leave, I was informed that I owed $2. I started chatting with one of the attendants and he told me that Monday was the first day of these parking changes.
I think it's quite frustrated for me because I work in the mall.
Gracie Gao tells me she used to park for free for 2 hours at UTC. But now with the changes, she's parking elsewhere and walking about 10 minutes to her job at the mall.
And now they changed the policy to only 1 hour free. It's not very convenient.
New signs were posted around the mall this week announcing the reduced hours. Anytime after 1 hour will cost $2 per hour until the daily maximum of $15 is reached. A lost ticket will cost you the daily maximum. Evan Wang, a student at UC San Diego, tells me he comes to UTC for some classes and always used to park at the mall. But this week, he's opting to walk.
It's free from 0 to 1. Anything after an hour is $2. It kind of incentivizes me to not park there anymore.
A spokesperson for UTC tells me the AMC 14, Seasons 52, UTC Ice Rink, and 24-Hour Fitness have always validated parking, and they will continue to do so.
Hi, Becky.
Mike Chen and little Becky think only 1 hour of free parking is going to keep people away.
Being able to park for 2 hours over here, especially in the nighttime, is that if I come here for a dinner party, it will last for about 1.5 hours, right? It's not just within 1 hour. So I think people, especially people who comes here for having some fun in the evening, they will be thinking about other places for having fun.
I asked about a reason for this change. A UTC spokesperson tells me, in part, quote, "This update supports ongoing parking enhancements and improves parking availability throughout the day by making access more predictable, helping guests more easily enjoy our vibrant shopping, dining, and entertainment destinations."
Meanwhile, it's unclear at this time if other businesses are going to start validating parking as well. For now, reporting from UTC, I'm Steffi Roche, working for you.
Still ahead, a chance to make a career change and make a difference in your community. How you can join the next generation of highway workers. Plus, more changes for Chula Vista's Bayfront. The work that's happening right now and what will open up later this year. Welcome back to our Working For You special. Chula Vista's Bayfront continues to expand as city leaders break ground on a brand new park. This is all happening right next to the new Gaylord Pacific Resort. Crews will be transforming a 12-acre plot of land into a nautical-themed playground, featuring a splash pad and other improvements. That'll be a lot of fun. Chula Vista Mayor John McCann says developing this area has been more than 2 decades in the making.
Project highlights perfectly our city's goals of expanding parkland, open space, promoting healthy lifestyles, supporting economic development.
The playground will be built first in phase 1. That's expected to be done by the end of the year. The splash pad will be part of phase 2, which should be complete by next spring. Heavy equipment, good pay, and a direct path to a career fixing the roads that you use every day. As Caltrans works to fill a critical labor shortage, a San Diego training academy is fast-tracking the next generation of highway workers. News 8's Vanessa Paz working for you and takes us inside this program that's putting people to work.
The rumble of bulldozers is a huge change for Jocelyn Miller.
I worked for the IRS.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Are you still working for the IRS?
I'm not right now, no.
Now, instead of a desk job, Miller is learning to operate heavy machinery through a Caltrans-supported training academy run by Baker Technical Institute.
I put my application in for this program being 98% sure that I would never hear anything back. And I got a phone call back, and here I am.
The program is competitive. Students go through an application and interview process before ever climbing into one of these. The free 7-week course trains students on everything from skid steers to excavators, combining classroom lessons, simulators, and real-world field work designed to build muscle memory before ever touching full-scale equipment. Toby Gangler is with Bankers Technical Institute.
With the industry the way it is right now, with a lot of retirements, a lot of the older generation, wrapping it up, there's a huge need for this.
Gangler says while certifications look good on a resume, hands-on experience is what employers really want, and these jobs can pay.
We're looking at upwards of, $60 to $80 an hour.
Training like this can typically cost between $30,000 to $50,000, but the academy, free. This year's class also includes more women and career changers than ever before, something crews say is helping shift the culture of the industry. Meanwhile, for Jocelyn, she says the change from office life to outdoor labor has been physically demanding, but worth it.
I've been activating muscle groups in my body that I think I just completely forgot that I've had. Just climbing in and out of the machines, my legs are on fire.
If we're able to take 20 students and place half of them, I think we're way ahead of the curve.
Vanessa Paz, News 8.
You get to do that important work and be outside all day. I know my son would love a job like this. This is the second year the academy has been running, and Caltrans will host 2 more academies this year, one in the Bay Area, the other in Inyo County. For more information on how you can apply, go to CBS8.com, click on this story. You'll see it all right there. And now don't let the calendar fool you. Snake sightings are actually up in San Diego, even in the winter. How hikers can help each other stay safe. Welcome back. If you are headed out for a hike, you know you're not alone, right? Well, with the recent warm spell, snakes are becoming more active. And yes, those rattles, you can hear them. They're more visible across San Diego County. News 8's Alex Cheney working for you and shows us what you should know before you head out on the trail.
Not be summer yet. A local snake expert told me today that after a recent run of some very warm days in February, they have seen a record number of snake findings just this year. snakes. After a run of days in the 70s and 80s recently, more snakes are coming out.
And snakes don't look at calendars. They don't know time of day. They don't know time of year.
Oh, he's got him. Got him.
Bruce Ireland is a snake wrangler who's amassed a following of more than 500,000 people on Instagram. He says his company was twice as busy this February than last year, with 43 calls for free snake rescue and relocation.
They feel warm temps and they come out of their den sites and look for food and water. And when they do, they run into people, and that's when we get called.
He says with changing weather patterns, there's no real snake season, and you should always be aware of your surroundings when on a trail.
Snakes don't typically go away very long. They may go away when we have a run of very cool temperatures, but as soon as it gets above 50 at night, they'll come back out.
Bruce says if you see a snake while on a hike, don't bother it and just walk around. It's also important to tell other hikers you see an upcoming snake.
Don't touch, don't bother, don't throw rocks, don't try to hit it. What I always tell people, if you're on a hike and you pass a snake, as you keep going on your hike, if you see other hikers coming, especially if they have dogs, give them a heads up that there's a snake on the trail. That way they're not going to inadvertently surprise it.
Today I met 2 hikers who said they stay mindful of snakes while on the trail.
A little bit, yeah. We had a little concern about snakes and we were talking about them, but we weren't that super worried about it.
And I'm hiking with my husband. He's the chatterbox, and I always have to tell him to quiet down so I can listen for the rattle.
For more information on how to keep you and your family safe from snakes, you can go to our website, cbs8.com. I'm Alex Cheney, News 8.
Coming up here, the war in Iran and the economic fallout in San Diego. We're going to look at what to expect with gas prices and why the situation is a little different for all of us in California. All right, welcome back. Right now, employees in the San Diego Unified School District, they're bracing for potential job losses. The school board voted unanimously to eliminate about 220 positions to close to a $47 million budget gap. The cuts would impact positions like cafeteria workers, bus drivers, and custodians. And we talked with Dawn Bass, president of a union that represents a lot of these workers.
You cannot get a student to a school without your bus driver. You can't feed your student without the people who are making the food and serving the food. You can't get those, hi, how are you doing? Let me help you with your math if you don't have a paraeducator in the classroom.
While 88 of those cuts affect positions that are currently vacant, as many as 133 workers could receive layoff notices. We are told that number may shrink if some employees are reassigned. Get ready to pay more at the pump as the U.S. war with Iran continues to drive up these oil prices. If you've seen them lately, analysts say we could see gas prices climb 5 to 10 cents a day in the short term. We've seen even more than that, adding up to as much as 30 cents more per gallon in a week. News 8's Richard Allen working for you for your wallet and explains why California drivers are about to get hit with a double whammy.
Unfortunately, we do have some higher prices coming for both gasoline and diesel.
Patrick DeHaan is head of petroleum analysis at GasBuddy, which tracks the least expensive fuel in cities around the country. Over the next week or two, he expects the price of gas to rise by as much as 30 cents a gallon and the price of diesel to increase by as much as 50 cents.
It will be a noticeable jump at the pump, but it likely will be temporary as well.
DeHaan says the greatest risk right now is the Strait of Hormuz, a vital waterway that runs along the southern coast of Iran, providing access to 20% of the world's oil supply.
Confidence is the name of the game when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz. Nobody really has confidence right now to transit through the strait, and that's why oil prices are reacting.
Already, the violence is disrupting oil shipments. There have been several reports of incidents of oil tankers being damaged off the Gulf Coast and surrounding waters.
The oil tankers are not going through it as missiles are flying, and in fact, we've got reports of at least 4 tankers that have diverted away or are dropping anchor.
Here at home, the expected rise in fuel prices would mean less money for San Diegans to spend elsewhere, including for Mesa College student Joe Nava.
I definitely would notice that. I don't think I'd be able to afford a little In-N-Out, which I just had, so that would be a bummer.
And Nava wouldn't be alone in having to cut out more discretionary spending.
It'll have an impact then throughout the local economy.
USG economics professor Alan Ginn has done the math.
My estimate is that for every cent that the price of a gallon of gasoline goes up, that takes $1 million a month out of the local economy. People are spending that money then on gasoline when they could have been eating out or buying clothes or something along those lines.
Jin points out this rise in fuel prices coincides with the transition to California's more environmentally friendly and more expensive summer blend, which can increase gas prices by 15 to 20 cents a gallon.
That's a bad combination in the sense that if you have gas prices rising due to the disruption here, and then the transition to the summer blend, that could be a big sticker shock for California drivers.
So if you do want to try to find the best prices around, Gas Buddy tracks the cheapest gas in your area on its website, prices that are constantly being updated. We have a link at cbs8.com where you can check that out. And that is going to do it for us here. Remember, if there's something you want us to look into, here's the email working for you at cbs8.com. Thank you for being with us. I'm Netta Iranpour. Hope you have a great day.